right? Emotions, so fear. So a lot of you traders, right? What I will always say is like, when you start off trading, you know, try not to over trade. You know what I mean? Like everything here comes into play as one. So you got fear, you got regret, you know, you got anxiety, then you get over trading. So everything actually comes under one topic because all of them basically mess with your emotions. So when you just start trading, yeah, a lot of traders, they will start making money and then start getting greedy, right? So after you start getting greedy, you're going to go back in, take that same position again, you know, and then you're going to start losing. And then you're going to realize, yo, you're going to start get emotional. You know why? Because you're over trading. So this is why I say everything comes into play under one topic, which means it messes with your emotion. So if you can avoid these things, if you can avoid being over trading, you know, and being greedy, it's really good for you guys to actually understand that. Yeah, I will say sometimes it's actually good to wait for your setup to play out before you actually go to the market and place a trade. For example, I'm going to show you something now on USD JPY. I've took a buy from this area on my lower time frame. I did this technicals last night, but we will go for this. But this is just a scenario I'm actually showing you guys. So I'm going to look for some sort of sell opportunity soon on UG, but you see where I have my red horizontal trend line. Right there is where I'll be looking for price to actually reject and respect and give me some further correction to go towards the downside. You know what I mean? So can you make a call for me, please? So for me, I won't just go directly to the market, no one look to sell, because one, you can see UJ is actually bullish. You know what I mean? So like, if I actually have to go to the chart and just go and place a trade now to sell, that is just me hoping, you know what I mean? So like, that's why you see, I said, everything comes into play under one topic. So that's just hope. So if I just actually go to that and then just click sell, that doesn't really mean that my setup is already valid. You know what I mean? It's just me hoping that it will actually turn around at that point. I already marked out my zone where I'm looking for price to respect. If I see price like probably reach like say 20 pips below that area where I'm looking to sell, then I can actually enter. You know what I mean? And after, if I actually have to go and enter that trade, then what's exactly going to happen is that I'm going to regret, you know, and then I'm going to start getting angry. You know, and you can see how everything comes into play, where it's going to mess with your emotions and it's going to all impact on your trading while you're taking a loss. So instead of you avoiding a loss, you're going to end up and be emotional for the rest of the day. So like, these are things that you should actually avoid while start trading. So like fear, regret, your anxiety and over trading, greed and hope. You know what I mean? Like keep them on another level, you know what I mean? Instead of try over trading all the time. Profit probability illustration. So this scenario that we have here is like something that you guys can actually work your way around, you know, so like understanding the market, right? So I always say to a lot of traders, like try to focus on only one pair or few, right? So if you're going to trade majors, then you got to be looking for a lot of fundamentals being affected with those currency pairs, you know what I mean? Because the major pairs is actually what moves the market most times, right? So want to define profits with respect to Forex trading, right? So first of all, always look for your trade setup. You know what I mean? So you already see I have USD JPY. Most of you already know this is my favorite pair to trade. You know what I mean? So you can see I already have my setup. So this area I'm already in buy, so I'm not going to look to sell. This area where you see I've marked out right there, that December high 2016 is where I'll be looking for some sort of correction. So within this area, then I'll be looking for price to actually go short. Market condition, right? For me, I already understand the fundamentals behind USD JPY right now. Tension between Russia and Ukraine, you know, so you see the US dollar is performing well against the Russian dollar, the Russian currency, right? So I already understand my fundamentals behind UJ. We got inflation. If you go on the website as well, I will pop it up for you guys now. So if you go on the website, I did publish this article last night for you guys. So you got fundamentals, right? So when I said understanding the pair, you know what I mean? Like you got to understand everything behind your trade setup. You know what I mean? You're just not going to look at a trade setup and be like, right, oh, it's an actual trade setup because you think it's a trade setup. You know what I mean? As I said, if you want to be a technical trader, you got to understand all the basics behind of it, right? So you can see USD JPY, you got a US CPI, Ukraine, Fed, technical analysis, right? So all these you got to understand. Remember, the US is looking to raise inflation, right? And if inflation is going to rise, we all know that the US dollar is going to rise. So you're going to see UJ actually go bullish, because if the US dollar is more higher than the actual Japanese yen, you're going to see the US dollar perform well and the Japanese yen fall, all right? So we all know that UJ is a safe haven currency. So this is where this currency pair is what a lot of investors put their money when there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. So like, for example, it's like how Russia and Ukraine is having this tension now. You're going to find a lot of millionaires, billionaires start buying the Japanese yen dollar and just hold it, just keep hold of it, because why? It's a safe haven currency. So regardless of what, it's always going to go up over time in value. You know, so you got to understand all that behind these things. So this is how market conditions comes into play. You know what I mean? The converging point, all these three emotion, trade, setup, market condition result in profit, like if you agree, all right? So these space that we have between here, where you see I have these three different color circles. So loss due to wrong entry. Perfect example again, we got USD JPY. What if we go and sell UJ at this point, right? Say for example, we go, so let's just put a different chart on screen. Say for example, we go, let's just remove all these giants. So say for example, we already go and sell UJ at this point, right? We jump in and we take a sell, and then we're gonna put our stop loss just above that previous high that we had in 2016, which will be right into this area. All right, so we're gonna put our stop loss right into that area. What may happen here? Price may actually come back, move back, and then just go, stop us out, break above, retest, and then push higher, or stop us out and then just fall and give us that correction. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to be patient with your entry points when you're actually looking to actually take a certain position. So you need to understand the probability behind your trade setup. So don't just go because you think it's going to sell. Yeah, you're just going to go and just press sell in the market. So these things all comes into play where it just mess with your emotion. It's going to mess with your psychology as well, because you thinking you got a wrong entry, you're going to be like, damn, I already lost £300 this morning, $300 this morning. I'm not going to go back in the market. You know what I mean? So I always say to people, like, when you look for a trade setup, make sure you understand everything behind that currency pair. USD JPY is a major pair. One, I already understand the fundamentals. You know what I mean? So the Ukraine and Russia war that's going on, the tension, I already understand that, right? So I already know how UJ will be performing. So that's what you can see. I know UJ is going to go bullish. And I did mention this on a call in the week, I think it was Wednesday. I did mention USD JPY going bullish. And a lot of you should have actually paid close attention when I break it down for you. And you can see how much pips is gone up now. I'm currently running some hefty profit as well from UJ. I think it's running around like, see, 119 pips now. You know what I mean? So things like that, understanding all these, yeah, behind the fundamentals and the currency pair that you're actually looking to trade will actually benefit you in the long run. A growth mindset drive motivation and achievement, right? What I always say, like, a lot of people give up while they take a small loss. For me, I'm not gonna lie, I remember when I've lost everything, like I've lost every single thing, like all of my money, like basically everything. Every month, I used to actually try my best to actually invest more and more. You know what I mean? So like 2020, that was one of my biggest years, and I've lost all, like everything. And then my biggest day was last year in August. I can remember the 7th of August when I made over $250,000 just off $400, which is like few pounds. You know what I mean? So like, if I did actually give up, that's just to show you, if I did actually give up, then I wouldn't have actually make all that money now. I wouldn't even be in here. You know what I mean? So like, things like that, you got to start take away and start looking into like, you know, like there's too much upwards potential for you to actually just give up like that. You know what I mean? You got to think like this. So I can get smarter. Learning is my goal. You know what I mean? And I always say this to new traders, especially beginners, like put more time into the charts. You know what I mean? You got trading view. Put more time into the charts. Do your markups, do your setups. Even though you do your markups, right, on trading view and come back the next day and it actually goes the way you want, trust me, you are actually learning something. I'm telling you. You may feel like if it's not getting anywhere, but you're actually learning something. From experience, I can tell you that. Efforts make me stronger. If you're not showing any effort towards you want to become a better trader, then you think someone is going to come and just tell you, yeah, Martin, you're going to be a better trader. No one did that to me. Bro, there was days and days and nights like I couldn't sleep. Like I feel like I was going crazy, you know what I mean? Just because I see the upward potential in this is why I actually stayed up so many late nights and actually put in all the work on these charts. Like I even stayed on the charts till I just fall asleep the next day, right through in the afternoon, wake up back in the afternoon when it's like US session, because I already missed London session and I miss a lot of trades, you know what I mean? Like that mess with your FMO as well. But that's another topic for Psychology 2.0, which I'll touch base on. I'll spend more time and work harder. You know what I mean? Spend more time on the charts. Like you stock in the market, you will see a lot of different things every day. Like just go to the market, start the market, and trust me, you will see a lot of stuff in the market that you never seen before. Like that's one thing. That's one way that I've learned most things in the market, especially seeing how the currency pairs play out and all that good stuff. Like, and also aim for a higher achievement. You know what I mean? If you're not gonna up your lot size, say for example, last year you was trading with 0.01. There come 2020. Use 0.05 or 0.10. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna continue sticking with 0.01, then you're not gonna see any profit. You know what I mean? So you gotta aim for higher achievement. And if there's no risk, there's no reward. You know what I mean? So always believe in yourself, trust your analysis. When you do your technicals, trust it. You know what I mean? Trust me. That's how I become better and better every day and actually understand that my strategy works. Because why? I trust myself, practice, put in the work, you know what I mean? And I just keep on going. And the reason why you guys shouldn't actually fall in my trap that I actually did, you guys got lessons, you know what I mean? Like you got a course, right? So you can see my mistakes that you won't have to fall into. But I think a lot of traders fall into that mistake because one, greed, and because they're just afraid of missing opportunities. You're gonna miss trade setup. Even as today, like myself, I do miss a lot of trade setups. So like you're not gonna get everything in the market. That's why I always say to you, focus on one pay, you know, and master that one currency pay, understand the fundamentals behind it, etc. And then you can develop a strategy of that one pay that can actually work for any other pays in the market. How do I control my emotions in Forex? So 5 day traders tricks if you have problems. So 1, controlling your emotions. If you took a loss, you know, try not to be emotional about it. You know what I mean? I can't tell you not to be because I was in that situation before. But from experience, I can tell you, try not to be, like, just control it. If you took a loss, just, you know, like, just say, trust me, if you want something in life, you're going to get it. Yeah. It's like the law of attraction. So if you attract something, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get it. Trust me, you're going to get it. I can say it from experience. So even though if you took a loss this morning, like, you can actually come back the afternoon, which is London session, and actually trade, and you can make multiple times that money that you actually lost. Sorry, not London, US session. You can actually make multiple money, right, than you lost in London session in the New York session. So, like, you got to think like that, you know. So that's how the growth mindset comes into play. So if you're going to make the emotions play with your mind, then you're not going to actually see any growth, because one, you're afraid of losing. Like, I've lost everything, as I said. And, you know, I didn't have any money. I kept on practicing on demo accounts. All 2019, it was just practicing. And then there comes 2020, December. That's the first year I've actually seen like profits. I made some money back in March when the whole COVID situation, but after that, they were just consistently losing right through, and I just kept going. And the reason why I kept losing is because one, I've never invested in a course. I just think I'm ignorant enough to just go and learn everything on myself. Yeah, I actually did. But this is why I'm telling you, you don't want to fall in my trap. You know what I mean? Try and avoid my mistake, and then you will see a lot more difference. Take a walk after each trade. For example, if you have a losing day or you have a losing trade, like if you stick to the computer, you're just going to go and press market execution and execute more trades upon trades until you blow your entire account. Try and avoid this. These are mistakes that I've made in the past. You know what I mean? Try and avoid them. Find out the least volatile hour of the trading session as well. So we all know when London session open, there's a rapid volatility. Like there's some rapid changes in price movements due because they're actually kicking in London session. So you're gonna find like Euro, GBP, USD, Euro, USD, these pairs are gonna be quite volatile. One index that I want you guys to look at when London session is the UK 100, which is known as a FTSE 100. So FTE, so FSTE 100. Yeah, I think that's the name on some brokers. You will see some crazy volatility on that index. It always sell right off and then it will go straight back up every time in London session. And that's actually one pair that I actually just wake up on London session to just trade sometimes. Like if I'm bored, I'll just go to FTSE 100 and just wait exactly for London session to open. I think it happens around, I think FTSE actually start moving around, say 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning London time. And you will see some rapid changes in that index. 3, find out stop trading after 3 consecutive wins or loses, right? So in the morning, right, you already trade London session. If you already had a winning morning, no need to trade New York session. Simple. Like you can actually make, say, $20 this morning. Like you don't need to trade in the afternoon again. This is where a lot of traders fail and they don't realize that. Like you already made some money this morning. Wait till tomorrow for your strategy to kick in again, and then you make some money. I used to make $2 profit, $3 profit, $4 profit. For now, it might seem like nothing for you because you're beginners, but you got to remember you're in the process of growing. You know what I mean? You're not in a process where you're just going to start off by making $500 on one trade. Like you're in a process of growth. Once you keep on going and going and going, definitely you're going to see progress. You know what I mean? But if you quit, then you're not going to see anything. So you got to always think about that growth mindset, as I said. You know what I mean? Because if I did actually quit, then I wouldn't have been here to actually give you my tips and my ideas to actually help. Don't look at your profit and loss while you're trading. 1, a lot of traders focus on how much money they can make on one trade. Do not give yourself a target to make in a day, a week, or a month. You know why? It's going to put too much pressure on you as an individual, right? And it's going to go straight to you over trading. Yeah, that's that was one of my biggest problem. And you know why? Because I used to let it affect my day-to-day life, because sometimes I'll be like, right, I want to buy this month. I want to buy that. Like just focus on the process of growing and learning every day. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in that way where you're going to be like, you want to set a target or a goal to actually achieve, you know what I mean? So don't be that person. Trust me, you will actually regret it in the long run. Ask yourself, am I scared? You know what I mean? Always ask yourself, if you're looking at a trade and you want to take a position and you're thinking like you have 2 mindset, like I would say, just stay away from that trade, to be honest. Like if you're having 2 mindset, if you're feeling like a bit of fear, I would say don't take the trade, you know what I mean? Just leave it alone. Like you don't have to take it, just place it on a demo account. You know, that's an idea I can give you. Reason why I would say place it on a demo account and not your live account, because 1, you will actually learn something. So you know the next time you see something like that, then you can actually go and take that opportunity, because 1, you already tried it on a demo, it's always working. So why not go live, you know what I mean? And try not to be trading demo account for a long while, to be honest, because it will affect you mentally. It will affect you when you start going on a live account, because one, it will actually, you're going to do the same thing you're doing on a demo on a live, and it might be different. So try not to focus on trading demo for a long while. A trader's toolkit for dealing with FOMO. So if you want to know what FOMO is, it's actually fear of missing out, right? So these are some tips, which will be our last topic that we'll be covering. Our next topic will be getting more deep into this, right? So one, you need a solid plan to follow and don't deviate. Make sure your trading is driven by logic and strategy. You know what I mean? For example, I check fundamentals every morning before I trade. Every single day before I trade, I check every fundamental. So I already know what's coming my way, because one, I am trading major pairs, which is USD JPY, and I'm actually trading indices. So that way, I already understand which, so I can tell myself, yo, like, Martin, CPI is going to affect the US dollar this week, you know, so I already understand that. So you see, like, that already give me a logic of what's going on behind this week. So I already prepare myself, and I'm looking at my pair technically as well. So I already understand my technical and my fundamentals put together. You know, that's my strategy that I'm actually working off for this upcoming week. You know, so things like that, you got to start taking into consideration. And I always say, take notes. Like, even me now, with so many experience, I still write things down in a notebook. If I don't understand it, I go back, because we are humans. You know what I mean? We're not aliens, we're humans. So eventually we're going to forget certain stuff. Two, a trading journal. Analyze past trades to see what you can learn. This will help you move away from FOMO-based habits. I always say this to people, like, have a trading journal. So like, say for example, you take USD JPY today, trust me, you can actually go to that journal and you're gonna write on USD JPY, I've lost 70 pips, 20 pips, 30 pips, whatever. I'll make 40 pips, 60 pips, 100 pips, whatever you do. So that trading journal will actually make you keep track of what you're doing and help you to actually develop your strategy. So if you realize, say you realize every Tuesdays you're having more wins than Mondays, then just take Monday, or you're like, take Monday off. Like, don't trade on a Monday, like myself. Like, I don't, if I place a trade on a Monday, it's gonna go the opposite. Like, I don't know why, but it always happens. Tuesday is always my trading day. So I'll place a trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and sometimes Friday. I don't always trade on a Friday. 3, good trading psychology. Learn to control your emotions and get handle on your FOMO. You know what I mean? And I'll just touch base on that. So like, you can see how everything is coming into one, because if your FOMO can affect you, it's gonna impact your psychology, because it's fear of missing out. That's basically you, because you missed a trade, right? You go and start doing the wrong things, like go in and just press market execution, execute trades that are unnecessary. So like, try and avoid these things. 4, routine and process. Establish routines that work for you to become a more consistent trader. So if you realize, as I just mentioned, if you realize, say, 8:30 GMT time, right? That's when you're making money until 12, say 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. GMT time. If you're making money that time, then just stick to that plan. You know what I mean? Do not change it. Just stick to that plan, basically. And first and final, a risk management strategy. Protect yourself from the after effects of FOMO. Trade with logic. You know what I mean? So like, try and avoid these things, because it's actually important for you guys to pay close attention to these things, because they all come under one heading, and they're just simple things that can just affect you on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? So if you can try and avoid all these, it will actually be good for you guys to actually avoid them, right? Any questions before I actually move on to UJ, or anything you want to ask? So I guess Right, so I guess everyone is happy. If you want to unmute yourself and speak, you can do so if you want, or raise your hand. Just unmute yourself and speak. I don't have any problem if you want to ask anything. Right, so I guess everyone is cool. So, all right, last night. So we did touch base on I'm good. Okay, then cool. We did touch base on USD JPY. I did break down USD JPY for you guys last time. So remember, I did mention about UJ going bullish the last time we had a meeting. I did mention it, and you can see now. And if you look at our trading view, we did share the setup on USD JPY, I think yesterday, yeah, so you can see it right here. So this was a setup, which means it was an ascending triangle that we spot in this overall bullish trend, right? So this overall bullish trend here, you can actually see, right? Back then, we had like a channel growing, which is a bullish channel, and you can see price actually break out of this and move higher. So now you can see that we have similar patterns within which giving us an ascending triangle, and we're looking for price to actually move higher. The next resistance area that we was looking at was 118.706, right? The reason why I know UJ was going bullish is because one, it's my favorite pair. I trade it every day. I know how the market moves, everything. So what happened when I spot this, right? I already understand what the ascending triangle actually means. So that's telling us that price is actually going to go bullish. Hence why you see on this side, where you see I've uploaded this, I did all my explanation on this where I posted on the website. You can see where we have the Russia and Ukraine attack. So you can see I'm comparing, right? The US 10-year yield and the Japanese yen, and you can see both are correlated, right? So we already understand the logic behind the fundamental with the Russia and Ukraine attack and the US Japanese bond. So we already understand all the logic behind the fundamentals. And then seeing that this ascending triangle is building up in this overall bullish trend, you know what I mean? That's just showing us that price may actually continue long. Because one, right, what a lot of people tend to do is wait for the market to go like this. Just continuously give us higher highs and higher lows, you know what I mean? Like, no, the market doesn't always have to go like that. And that's one thing I always say to people, like, even though if the price is actually bearish and giving you lower lows, like sometimes you can see lower lows and lower highs, or you can see some liquidity build up, giving you like a bull flag pattern, and then price just break below, retest, and then just continue lower. It doesn't always have to be what you're thinking. You know what I mean? So try and avoid all these things when you're actually looking at your trade setups, and looking for your entry points as well, because it's actually important. So nothing much from us today, basically. So that's what I really want to touch base on was UJ and the psychology part of trading, which I want you guys to start overcoming and actually start paying close attention to. Especially for you on that Master Key program, you will be doing a lot of lessons with myself, which I will be helping out you guys a lot. And I will be showing you guys a lot of trading opportunities as well. For you guys on the Master Key program, you will have access to me, myself, and any one of the boys. So don't afraid to reach out to us if you don't understand something on the actual course itself. You can always hit us up and let us know what's the crack or what you're struggling with or anything, and we'll actually help you.